friends, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll be sharing my moving experience. So I recently moved from my previous apartment where I lived for the past 2 years, and I'm very happy about my new space. So far I don't have any complaints. I'll be sharing what my previous apartment looked like and my new apartment, of course. And currently making this video from my study room. It was decorated by me. The books are mine, the painting as well. Everything on this shelf basically belonged to me. I made the paintings myself. I'm so proud of my paintings. So we decided to move because our landlady was going to be selling our apartment, and we found this place within 2 weeks of our search. One thing I'm really grateful for is that it's very easy to find apartments here in Estonia. I don't know, this is my experience, right? We found this place within a week. If you live in Estonia, I'm sure you know that there are like a couple of websites where you can search for houses if you are looking to rent or to buy. Websites such as kv.ee, City24, Rending, and so much more that I can't remember now. I think I mostly check kv.ee because I like their website. It's very easy to navigate. Rending as well, if you're looking to rent through Rending, they have their own process, and you find some houses, not a lot. I think their options are limited compared to other websites in my experience. So we found this space after looking at a couple of other options, and we settled for this one because it had most of the things that we wanted. Like I said, if you're looking for an apartment, you have to look for an apartment that meets your taste, so you would have what you want to get or see in your apartment. For me, I wanted a space that had a bigger bathroom because my previous house or apartment had a smaller one. So that was something that I was very particular about. And I also did not want a house on the 5th floor. I noticed when searching for houses that majority of the houses that were up for rent were either on the 3rd or 5th floor. I don't know why. Maybe it's because house owners usually take the other floors that are below, or they particularly leave those houses for the elderly in the society. It was very important for us, or for me, that we found a place that was not on the 5th floor, because living on the 5th floor wasn't very easy in my previous apartments. The apartment buildings in most of the areas in Estonia don't have elevators. So if you're looking to rent or to buy a house in these old buildings, you need to make sure that the apartment is in a good section of the building, unless of course you don't mind living on the 5th floor. My new apartment is on the 3rd floor. It's not but it's still better, right? This new apartment is also very close to the beach. I can see the beach. You don't have to find a place close to the beach if it's not your cup of tea, but you need to also make sure that your apartment is close to maybe your office or places that you like to go to. One thing also that I'm grateful for living in Estonia is that you have a lot of areas where bus stops are very close. So if you are not someone that drives or you are not mobile, it's very easy to navigate when you live close to the bus stop. Right? Example, this place, it's about 5 minutes walk to the bus stop that will take me to my office, and next to the bus stop I have a kiosks. Kiosks are stores or the mall where there are different shops where you can shop for things. So I'm really also grateful for this as well. Some people prefer to rent an empty apartment. I don't like that, because as a renter I don't want to have to deal with spending so much money equipping my house. My previous apartment, one thing I was grateful to the landlady for was that my kitchen had everything that I needed. The only thing I needed to buy was a blender, but I had a microwave, an electric kettle, a big fridge. I had basically everything you can think of that you need to use when you're cooking in the kitchen. Only a blender wasn't provided, and I got that myself. But in this new place, I only have the fridge. I didn't get any other electronics in my kitchen, so I have to purchase those things. Imagine how much money I saved when I lived in my previous apartment, because I didn't have to buy these things that I needed to use in my kitchen. So these are also some of the things that you also need to consider when you're renting a place. Do you want to rent an open like space that you would decorate yourself. In my opinion, I feel you can do this when you own the place, right? It will make sense when you own it to decorate it to your taste, to equip it to your taste. It doesn't make sense to do this when you're still renting. So this is one of the reasons why we particularly looked out for apartments that had everything fully furnished up to like the bedroom. My previous apartments also like had like a dining table. I have the same thing here. The only thing I think I also needed to buy was a TV set. You usually get like apartments that will have the TV stand and everything, but you need to get the television yourself. Also, parking was another ball game on its own. We lived on the 5th floor. Moving our stuff was a lot of work. Like, we spent the entire weekend packing and taking things from the 5th floor downstairs. Trust me, it was not easy. It was just myself and my husband doing this, so it was very difficult moving up the stairs, something I usually avoided. I couldn't avoid it at this point, so we had a lot of stuff. So at that point I realized that I was a hoarder and I had a lot of things that I didn't need. Thankfully, I had the foresight to get these very big bags, Ukes. If you go to Ukes, they have this very big storage bag. They sell it, I think, for less than €1 or €1 something. I got 6 of those bags and they were very helpful, because when you see like the way Europeans move, they use boxes, like those carton boxes, to move things around. And I thought about getting those boxes to move, but I realized that since we're doing this move manually, we weren't getting like movers. It didn't make sense to use them, because what it means is that our trips downstairs from the 5th floor will be like a lot, because with boxes you need 2 hands to carry 1 box, but with a bag that has that you can drag, it's easier to use that and drag 2 at the same time, so you are carrying more things at a time compared to using a box. I got that Ukes bag, about 6 of them, and they were very useful and they are very sturdy, like carried by like heavy stuff, and we didn't have like any rips or tears. So if you're looking to move, you can also like get those bags or something similar, because I was looking for Ghana Must Go bag, but they don't sell that here, and I didn't bring any from Nigeria. It would have been very like useful to also like carrying a lot of our items. We have a lot of stuff, like you can see in the video. I was even like, I kept asking myself, even to date, how I managed to accumulate so much stuff, considering that our apartments have always been fully furnished. Like, why do I need so much stuff? One of the things that I've learned is not to hoard things. If something is no longer serving you, please discard it. Declutter as often as you can. Don't leave it until you are moving, because it will double the amount of work you need to do when you're moving. Like, I spent almost a week decluttering and discarding things. Luckily in Tallinn, they have like these recycle bins where you can put clothing, shoes, toys, furniture that you no longer use, so you don't put them in the general like dustbin. They have those boxes, those recycle bins for things like that. So that's where we discarded those things. But I wish I didn't have to discard so many things, because even some things had never been used, right? But there was no point keeping them, because I knew that I haven't used these things for over a year, so keeping them would just mean that it will occupy more space that I did not want. And I want to live in an airy like apartment, and I really love my new apartment because of the natural lighting as well. Compared to my previous apartment, this apartment has, you can see in this video, I'm not using like electrical lights. It's just the natural lighting from outside that I'm using in this video. So that's one of the things that I actually also like about this apartment. That's also something you also need to consider when you're renting. Go and visit during the day so you can see the natural lighting and how it comes or shows when you're inside the house. If you come at night to check an apartment, you will not be able to tell if the natural lighting is enough for you, because if you're consuming a lot of electricity, it means that your bill at the end of the month will be very high. So you also need to put this into consideration when you're renting. And yeah, I think that's basically it. You also need to consider that if your place has a store, a bus stop, so these are the things you also need to keep in mind. Back home in Nigeria, I don't think it really matters, right? If you are in Nigeria, like every street or every house will have like a store where you can get stuff. But if you live abroad, you need to make sure that you're renting in a place that is close to the bus stop. If you are not, even if you are mobile, there are days that you will not be able to drive and you'll need to take public transportation. So make sure you are living close to a bus stop, you're living close to a store, so you can get like your things that you need generally in your home. And what else? Yes, if you like the beach, you can consider renting close to the beach like I've done. I'm very excited about this. And I needed a study room because I mostly work from home, so it makes sense that I have a room where I just work, focus on work, do my job, and after work I can move to my living room or the kitchen to do whatever I need to do. So I really like this because in my previous apartment my work table was in my bedroom and I didn't really like that. So now I'm happy that I have a separate room that I can even decide to convert into a room if the need arises. Like if I have a guest, I can put like an extra bed here for the guest to sleep in. Things like that. I think these are the things that you need to consider. And I have a very big bathroom. Well, not very big, but big. And one of the things I also didn't like about most of the apartments that I viewed before I chose this one was that this concept of open floor plans. Like a lot of houses now use this design. I don't like it. There's no privacy. You are cooking and maybe you have guests, they can see what you are doing in the kitchen. I don't think it's very nice. I don't want my food to be smelling all over the house. Like you're cooking and your clothing, your coat, your jacket smells of the food you are cooking or the food you cooked yesterday because you are living in an open floor like housing. And most of the houses, even the old buildings, are now like redecorating and renovating their apartments to have this design. So I'm very particular about this. I do hope that my apartment continue to consider people who do not like open floor plans and just maintain that standard of separate kitchen, because that's just the best. New buildings all have open floor plans. I don't think new buildings are maintaining that separate kitchen thing. This is something that I also look out for when I'm renting. All the houses that I've rented, or my previous apartment had a separate kitchen, a big kitchen, in fact, bigger than this current one. But this current kitchen is quite smaller, but I'm still like grateful for it because it's not like an open floor setting. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for listening, and let me know in the comment below how you move and your experience with moving. Do you usually do it yourself? Do you have friends or people come help you, or do you use the service of moving companies? Please let me know in the comment box. Please don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.